Hi, AP English 12. My goal in this video is to give you an overview of quarter four, to talk about our areas of focus, our learning goals, and the rhythms of work and assignments that you can expect to see. So we have three areas of focus for this quarter. We will be reading C.S. Lewis's Till We Have Faces. We will be revisiting poetry, largely outside of class, to both give you some exposure to eras of poetry that we haven't yet looked at and give you a final round of practice with it prior to the AP exam. And we will be bringing together the things that we've been doing all year to ensure that you are confident as you head into the AP exam, that you know the kinds of questions that you will be seeing and you have some strategies for responding to them. So our learning goals for the quarter are that you would be able to engage meaningfully with stories, with other stories, both in life and in literature, and with your own story. So that will be something that we'll pursue through independent reading, through Till We Have Faces, and through some intentional and kind of guided journaling on your part. So one of the things that emerges from Till We Have Faces is that the way that we tell our stories can reveal things to us that we didn't previously realize, can reveal things about us to other people that we aren't anticipating revealing. So we'll be thinking about how we tell our stories and what that can show, and practicing that through some intentional journal writing. We will also be reviewing the elements of fiction that you are, again, familiar with, but doing a final round of review of those as you head into the exam. We'll be looking at those elements of Till We Have Faces. This is really the easiest book that we've read all year. Some of its themes, I think, are complex, but the story itself and the language, I think, are less complex, certainly, than Frankenstein and Hamlet. So you can anticipate a slightly easier read for that, which will give us the space to talk about some things that we, in a little bit more depth, because we aren't having to spend as much time just understanding what's happening. We will be reviewing and applying the poetry process by looking at poems from these three eras: Romanticism, Victorianism, and Modernism. And of course, we will be practicing for the AP exam. I have made a concerted effort to keep our AP practice within class time, so that's not something that will filter into homework, though revising an essay might, but the actual essays and multiple choice will happen within class. So in terms of homework rhythms, you will see some AP practice tasks kind of scattered throughout the next several weeks leading up to the exam. You will also notice that the homework is a little bit heavier in the next few weeks, and that is intentional to give you space for practicum practice presentations this week, which you'll get more information from me about those shortly. And then, of course, we head into AP exams and the preparation for the final presentation. So I wanted to be able to scale back the homework when we get to the end of April. So that's why things are a little bit heavier the next few weeks. Regarding the Till We Have Faces homework, what I am hoping that you will be able to do is identify some of these key literary elements and what they're doing, and also pull out some quotes that you find meaningful. I appreciated your feedback on the Frankenstein homework, that I think was perhaps more difficult and time-consuming than I intended. And I do want to say, to encourage you, that the skill you were practicing in all of that quote analysis that I don't think I made clear was you were practicing finding evidence in support of a theme or idea and then providing commentary on it, which is a really important skill for writing in general and for the AP exam essays in particular. So know that that work was not in vain, was not wasted, and you will be doing less of it for Till We Have Faces. So that is what you can expect from those homework assignments. And then in terms of the poetry project or unit, it will mostly be done independently on your part. And I will have my resources and instructions for you ready by the end of this week. But essentially, you will be reading 3 to 4 poems from each of these three eras. And on the days when you have a deadline, you will just be submitting the 3 to 4 poems that you read with your annotations. So you're reading and annotating. That is to give you practice, again, in reading poems of different styles, different levels of complexity, different ideas present, which I think will be a good practice of the skills that we've been building through the whole year. And then once we hit AP exam week, you will all have the opportunity to, starting then and then continuing through the rest of our time together, you'll have the opportunity to present on one of the poems that you read. So that will be a little bit more of a presentation, a little bit less teaching than our earlier presentations back in the beginning of last quarter. And that, I think, will be helpful for you to have the opportunity to share your insights with the class, for you to hear from people other than me about an array of poems, and for you to have some practice presenting as we head into the practicum presentations. So that is where we're headed this quarter. I'm excited about this final round of things and just looking forward to reading and thinking alongside you.